want a ticket straight to them pearly gates.
When you talk about how they're making all of these great changes to Tekken 8, right? They're trying to reduce defense and they're trying to buff offense and they're trying to decrease skill. It seems like no one wants it. At first, they were talking about how the pro players are the only ones upset, veteran players are the only one upset, and then now it's legacy players. You see the changing of the terms from pros to vets to legacy. The reality of it is literally everyone. As we discussed in yesterday's stream, we saw that the people who are defending Tekken, they really aren't locked into the game like that. They really aren't playing a lot. It's not about skill. Skill is not the factor here. It's how much time you're spending on the game and you're really getting the dose of what Season 2 has to offer. The people who are spending a lot of time or a reasonable amount of the time, they understand that every character has lost their identity and also they understand that every character is super powerful. So with that being said, now let's look at the Steam DB. This will show us how many players are online. So as you can see here, it peaked at 16,126. So many people returned to Tekken 8 to try Season 2 and to see if it was going to be the restoration that we thought it would be. But then, you know, as history showed us, it is not. Hopefully, it doesn't tank more. But with what the developers are doing, it's out of our control. From there, you then got to talk about this emergency patch. Now, I did a video breaking down this thing entirely, and basically a short version of what they're doing is they're attacking two moves. One, Paul Phoenix 401+2, which is a loop that you can do that basically has like unblockable follow-ups. It's unattended, but unblockable follow-ups are significant and they have a very big impact. And then also you could talk about the new move from Jack, Make Some Noise, 2-1 up forward, 1+2. That move is being used by everyone to completely obliterate the game, and the developers have identified both of these as issues that need to be resolved immediately. Now, when you say immediately, you have to think like, okay, what do you mean? Like, you know, 2 days from now, 1 day from now? No, they're going to release this late April. That's not really what the players want. And something else that I will also highlight as well is that we are running out of time. I don't know if the same rules that apply to Season 1 will apply to Season 2. And what I mean by that is for Season 1, the developers were unwilling to balance the game while tournament formats were going on. So we had to sit through a whole year of dragging off Yoshi, Jin being super busted. For Tekken 8 Season 2, will that same thing happen now? The game is getting absolutely crushed. And there's no way this game can sit this way for over a year. And then Season 3, you make promises. Because that's what they did already. We sat through all of it. They made promises. And then not only did they not deliver, but they did the completely opposite of what they were promising. So a lot has changed. A lot has changed. Misplay Stuff is a pretty big content creator. Her follower count on Twitter alone is almost 20,000. And if we just scroll through her posts, this is one we were looking at the other day, where she was highlighting someone who was telling everyone else they have a skill issue. Meanwhile, their rank in game was blue rank and they only played for 17 matches. So you also have this one here where she was saying to stop victimizing the game because there was a lot of people who was defending Tekken 8 like it was their job. And she was basically saying like people who are reviewing it negatively have the right to do so. This game has charged a lot of money, even for this Season 2 content, right? A new battle pass, a new Ultimate and Deluxe Edition, a new repackaged Season 1. And then they also have like the brand new Season 2 pass where most of it you don't know what you're paying for, right? You only can see Anna. And a lot of people said that they didn't like that already, right? And even with that being the case, you have to pay like $40. So it's not good, right? So she's just highlighting that. It says, reminder, this is not going to the devs harassing them by saying, etc. I'm not falling for that at all. But you are totally allowed to criticize their actions as well as you can praise them if you think they did good instead. So this is very reasonable, right? She's saying like, we don't tolerate any hate. We're not saying go hate the devs and go, no, that's not acceptable. But you could definitely say, you know, hey, Season 2 is terrible. And I was highlighting how the developers themselves asked for this criticism. This is where it gets very weird. Harada has said, send all of your criticism to me and Michael Murray. And then Michael Murray also said, we will be looking through all of the criticism. With that being their statements, why would they then turn around and block a big content creator for such criticism? Misplaced Stuff says, at least I know my opinions were seen. All the people are allowed to block whoever they want, but it's still petty to me. I thought I was able to express myself in a way that was criticizing the game and not a person on the team. She never got personal. She only was talking about season 2, only was talking about the game, only was talking about bouncing. So it's weird for a developer to then block you because that is making it personal. And also it goes against what you said of listening to players and being open to criticism. That's what a lot of people feel like got us into this problem anyways, is that the developers aren't being open to criticism. They're running from it. They're acting like it doesn't exist. They're also even trying to spin it to make it look like it's not as bad. Blocking content creators for just speaking their mind is not trying to find middle ground. Why is it always Michael Murray, bro? Like, I tried to defend Michael Murray, but at this point, bro, I really just think Michael Murray is just doing everything in his power to just sabotage the game at this point. When he was talking about Lydia, I was saying, oh, everyone who's like, on his line, that's kind of unnecessary. You don't have to be breathing down his neck like that. When you have the sidestep just blocking, I was saying, oh, you guys are going too hard on Michael Murray. Every step of the way, I was trying to say, like, look, guys, like, you don't have to go that hard on the guy. Ease up a little bit. But it's like, bro, in a state where Tekken 8 is the most chaotic. The Tekken franchise is the most chaotic. We're literally on day 3 of a review bomb. This game is in a terrible condition. Why is Michael Murray constantly putting himself in the middle of controversy? First off, when he said that little stupid thing to that guy who doesn't even play the games, this right here, this was not necessary, bro. He should have just stayed silent. But then now he's making it even worse by blocking a very respected content creator who was being very respectful and well put with their criticism. Like, why? Why did you block her? You should know that doing this is going to have a significant backlash. It says super immature and unprofessional of him. Bro, what are you doing? Tags Michael Murray. Someone else says this is embarrassing. Tag Michael Murray. This is crazy. This is simply him taking out his frustration. Exactly. Bro blocked because he couldn't step the heat. I guess he knows how it feels, huh? Blocking in Tekken, blocking on Twitter. You are a weakling and have to get fired. You keep on saying people are rude on this app, but the fact of the matter is that no matter how polite we are to you and ask you to acknowledge our grievances, you ignore us and reply to a guy that hasn't played your game since January. What is Eris? This person is sharing a clip of Eris. I gotta hear it.
I love Tekken 8. I love it. I love it.
Michael Murray loves to block people when he feels attacked. We would like to do the same thing. Wait, what'd you say? You said I'm Play Stuff biggest hater. She even made 2 videos about me, but I support her now. These days, community should have solidarity. That's the thing too, right? What the developers are doing is unifying the player base like never before. Players have put all petty nonsense aside. There is literally a unification of the player base like never before, and everyone is uniting. And here's the thing, not against the developers, but we're uniting in support of the brand of Tekken, the identity of Tekken. We're uniting in a hope to try and save this franchise from turning into something that doesn't exist anymore and something we don't recognize.
There's a raging fire. 2 firemen show up. One of them is pouring water on the fire, and the other one is pouring gasoline on the fire. That's all I see when it's all said and done, and I've looked at this patch.
Brain dead season. No mind game. No sidestep. 1 or 2 OP moves. Easy game, but no fun. I never thought I'd see the day when Yoshimitsu and King are doing the exact same mix-ups. That is crazy. Because of course you have a lot of like bleeding of identities with certain characters, like the Mishimas. You can expect wavy wavelus. You even have Armor King who's doing wavy wavelus. You have some overlap with the roster that's always existed, right? But now we're at a point to where the grappler is doing the same thing as like the stance unga bunga like madman of a character. You have the clown and the grappler doing the same type of gameplay. How do the developers not see that this is absurd? Someone else says, Tekken players, it's not too late to learn Uni 2. This person says, people saying Tekken players, it's not too late to learn insert 2D fighting game. You guys aren't understanding that Tekken was good because it wasn't those games. That's the sickest burn ever. It's hard to just fix the game. It's complicated. Yeah, it is difficult, right? But the same is true for every video game that was ever made. You think the No Man's Sky developers weren't in the same situation? That excuse doesn't work anymore. Cyberpunk, that game was so bad to where Sony started issuing refunds. I have never heard of that. So if Cyberpunk can recover, if No Man's Sky can recover, if all of these other examples can recover, then Tekken can too. Oh, we didn't even get to the Harada tweet. Actually, screw this. Let's go talk about the Harada tweet now. Screw this. Tagging the devs in the tweets, calling them a bunch of other slander is not respectful, bro. Twitter Tekken is so entitled. It's crazy. So Harada says, in response to this, in any case, it is clear to me that the result is a disconnect between what the community wants and what the tuning results. I understand that whatever words I may be accused by of the community, this is not the essential issue, and it is not the time to worry about it. We have our battle and tuning team working around the clock to read throughout all the feedback logs from the community and work on future policies and changes for the better. But I do think this response is good from Harada, but also it's kind of like hollow. It's empty because we heard statements like this before all throughout year one, and then look at where we're at with season 2. It's hard to have faith in the developers to deliver on what they say and to do right by the players. Like here when he's talking about the disconnect between what the community wants and the tuning team results, that part is pretty interesting because that's exactly where we're at. The players want defense and the tuning results are only interested in reducing the skill gap. All of the criticism we gave for season 1 about aggression, about not having options, about this, about that, if what Harada is saying is true about them like actually reading through all of that and looking at the feedback, then how did season 2 get dropped? This is my biggest concern with new moves. Is new moves is so dangerous because, you know, once you put those new moves in there, it's very difficult to take them out. You can nerf combo damage. We see that with Yoshimitsu. Yoshimitsu's combo damage has been reduced a lot. You can also nerf properties. I don't know if you guys noticed Yoshimitsu's 1-1. That was something a lot of people complained about. You guys go experiment with Yoshimitsu's 1-1 counter hit properties on block, on knockdown, and you come back to me and you tell me if that move is not destroyed. So we know they can impact individual moves, combos, setups, etc. But the tough part is when you're putting a move into the game that is very obnoxious. It says, Michael, please understand this. Casuals would be happy even without every character being broken. Casuals could always play a game balanced around pro play, but you can never make pros play a casual party game, especially in competition. Game can be cool and balanced. Just listen. That's a very respectable take. What's the odds that Michael Murray blocked that guy? You told me to what? To just do what? It sucks, bro. I really tried to defend Michael Murray, you know. I didn't want to be a part of the dog pile at all, and I still don't want to. I feel bad in being like Michael Murray's a problem, but he is, bro. He said in Tekken 7 that he's done responding to players and he doesn't want to talk to the community because it only leads to controversy, right? But then he still pops up from time to time when the community is the most riled up to say stupid stuff. It's like, bro, what are you doing? He never like pops up when the players are happy too. That's the weird thing. It's like Heihachi released, he said nothing. When Anna was announced, he said nothing. Why does he only pop up when players are angry? Blasted Salami says, Tekken 8 Season 2 is frustrating. Well thought out, meaningful systems changes to movement and heat, which are then completely overshadowed by character changes, which feels like they were barely tested at all. This obligation to add flashy, unbalanced new stuff just for the sake of it with every seasonal update often just results in the worst game. Upset fans and damage goodwill. Also, by the way, cheaters are still running amok. Speedkick says nice cheats, and he's running up against a panda player who is supreme.
Do the cheater? Oh.
Look at him, he's bodying the cheater. He realized the person was cheating and he switched up his style and now he's cooking. This is why this cheating situation is so sad, because like they're really not that good. They're understanding of the game. Look at that. He's getting lit up by that low.
He's toggling.
Wow.
You stupid bitch.
31 positive reviews on day 3 of the review bomb. What are people saying? My headless, limbless tomb. What? Very nice and accessible. Also, the graphics are so good for a 2D game. This is a positive review. Do you enjoy balanced fighting games? Do you like cool characters and unique movesets with strengths and weaknesses? In that case, let's hope the upcoming Virtual Fighter is good. This is another good review. These are positive reviews. The game is going to fall anyways. I'm just giving positive review because most reviews will be negative either way. You know what Nemco did? I've been trashing the series since I first played Tekken 1 in arcades. With Season 2, I might actually have a chance at making it to God of Destruction now with all the great players leaving. Bro, what are these reviews?